Hello, I'm Roger Bunnell, the host of Between Two Mics. Once again, we're here with Karen Barfield, Senior Vice President and Director of Shared Services for Fifth Third Bank. Hi, Karen.
Roger, how are we today?
Doing well.
Good. Good to see you again.
You as well. It's always a pleasure seeing you. On the previous edition of Between Two Mics, we spent our time getting to know a little bit about you as a person and a brief but very informative background about this wonderful world called shared services.
Great.
Today I'd like to go into a little bit more in depth about one of those departments. We're talking about the mail service group. So what are we talking about? We're talking about mail services.
Now, you should know a little bit about it since you've worked here a little bit, but let me help you out. So mail services is made up of basically three distinct groups. So the first group is the group that I think most people think of, which is the folks that handle all of the mail that goes through the bank. So the interoffice mail, the white mail. Have you ever seen that movie, Roger, Elf?
Yeah, I have.
You know that scene, we're in the mail room and all that. Do you remember that scene?
Oh, that is a great scene. Iconic.
Yeah. Iconic. So it's just like that.
Really?
No, it's not at all like that. But it is a mailroom.
Okay.
The next group is print services. So you've probably seen some of those really big machines back there in the back corner.
I've seen those all.
Those are print services, right? So they print the majority of the customer correspondence that goes out of the bank. So letters, statements, etc. Do you get any statements or letters from
Absolutely not. Get all my documents online. It's safer, more secure than getting paper statements through the mail.
Be like Roger. Roger is correct. Is exactly what we should do.
First time anyone's ever said that.
So we will kind of tour back there, but there's some what we call very high-speed print equipment. That equipment runs 24/5. 6 kind of for the most part. So we've got folks work 24 hours a day, and that's where all that correspondence is printed.
Okay.
So
Very interesting.
once we print it, however, we got to get it into an envelope to get it out to those people that do get those letters.
Right.
That still get that. So that is called our statement group. So we have machines where we insert those printed letters and statements into envelopes to get them out the door.
Sounds like a lot of stamps.
Well, fortunately, we're not putting stamps on letters.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a little bit more high-tech process, but we'll see that when we go there.
Okay.
So we could probably go on and talk in here, but wouldn't it be more fun if we went and looked at some of the equipment and watched that process going?
I'd love to see the process.
All right, let's do it. So Roger, you recognize this room? Know where we are?
Absolutely. This is our mail center here at MOC. We remodeled this when we did telecapture.
Yep, a couple years ago. So have you been to your local post office?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have.
Okay, so this is kind of like our post office for the bank right here, right? So we service all of the branches throughout our network, all of the different departments and buildings, and this is kind of the central hub for that. So all of the branches are serviced out of this location.
Okay, so this was the main postal facility for Fifth Third Bank.
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds right.
Any idea how many pieces of mail that go through this center?
Well, trackable pieces of mail that we have back here that our guys are scanning like right now,
yeah,
we do about 50 to 60,000 of those per month. So
wow.
we're about 600,000 or 720,000 of those every year.
That's a lot of mail.
That we're tracking internally. We know where, from the second it walks into the door to the person that signs for it.
And you can go and look up that piece of mail if anybody has a question and tell them where it is.
If they find us the tracking number, we can track that piece of mail and tell you the last person that we gave it to.
Impressive.
That's as good as
so,
it gets.
We have more than one mail center throughout our footprint. Right? This is kind of the largest.
Yes.
Do you know where all of our other mail centers are?
Well, we have 5 that are all under you. We have one up in Grand Rapids at the CSC building.
Yep.
We have one in Chicago at Riverside. We also have another one in Chicago at Rosemont. We have one across the street over at MOB, and then we have one downtown at the main tower at its corporate headquarters.
Gotcha. And is this where you started, Roger?
This is where I started. I was here on third shift.
Third shift.
Third shift.
Brings a little tear to your eye, doesn't it, thinking about it?
More than a tear.
Okay. So we talked about this is one of 3 areas in mail services. So after we leave here, we're going to go to, I think, print next. Should we walk over and show the folks what print looks like?
Let's head to print operations.
All right. Cheers. All right, do we know where we are now, Roger?
This is our print operations department.
This is an impressive area, isn't it?
It is.
A lot of machinery. All right, so let's talk about print operations a little bit. We've got a guest here with us. Who's this?
This is the head of mail and print operations, Craig Morgan.
Oh, Craig, good to see you again.
See you. Welcome to the wonderful world of print.
Awesome. One of my favorite places to be. So let's talk a little bit about print, what goes on here. I noticed first thing I walked in, these giant rolls of paper behind me. So tell me a little bit about that paper.
Well, the paper weighs about 1,100 pounds, just over half a ton for each roll.
You lift those on there yourself?
I do. And
Impressive.
each roll is about 7.3 miles long.
7.3 miles.
Yes, ma'am.
Didn't you tell me that's how far you had to walk to school every day when you were a kid?
And it was uphill both
Uphill
directions.
both ways. Okay.
In the snow.
In the snow.
So we can't use the whole roll because it gets too close to the center and it curls up, so the equipment can't use it.
Makes sense.
But we don't throw it away.
What do you do with that?
It's either donated to schools, and who wouldn't want an 18-inch wide, 3,000-foot long hunk of paper?
Everybody would want that.
And what isn't donated is recycled.
That's awesome.
Every month we print about 12 million impressions, which would be 6 to 7 million sheets of paper.
Okay. So an impression is like one page?
One page.
Okay.
So that'd be about 7 million sheets of paper. So every month we're using 60 to 65 rolls of paper, 450 miles of paper in a month.
450 miles. So annually, what's 6,000 miles?
Pretty close.
That would get us from here to where? Athens?
Greece.
Amazing. Amazing. So let's, should we wander down and kind of look at the printer here a little bit? It's much more interesting to see it in motion. So tell me about what's happening right here, Craig.
Well, the paper comes off of the roll, goes through this. This is a print engine, just like you would find on your desk. It's an inkjet printer, and
Okay.
it's printing one side of the paper. It then goes into another print engine,
And it's flipping it upside down.
it's flipping it upside down. So it's printing one side here, and it flips it upside down here.
Amazing.
Then it'll print the other side.
Okay.
This is printing in full color, so if we need color, it will print full color.
Talk a little bit more about the paper too, the type of paper that we use. It's certified, is that
Yes.
correct?
This is Forest Stewardship Council certified,
Okay.
meaning it's sourced from sustainable, renewable resources, and this is environmentally sound paper, and it comes from sustainable forests, so we're not really destroying the planet in what we're doing.
That's awesome.
For every bit of paper that we use, there's trees planted to replace it.
Fantastic.
And as we come through here, this is a perforation unit. So if we need a perforation on the bottom or top of the piece of paper, this unit will put a perforation.
Okay. And then it comes around a corner again, right?
Yes.
And tell me what does this machine do here?
Okay. This is called the dancer.
Oh, like you.
It's actually
The dancer
just
like you.
Roger,
Yeah.
Just like me.
Yeah.
It's actually a buffer, and these rolls move up and down to change the paper length,
So it doesn't jam or anything.
so it doesn't jam, so it doesn't
Got it.
tear.
So this, to me, it looks like it's cutting in half. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Turning it from 17 inches wide to 8.5 inches wide, 2 sheets.
Okay. And then we come all the way to the end.
And all the way at the end, it goes through the cutter, cuts it to 11 inches, and stacks the
Is that
paper up.
file?
And that's it.
So
It's as simple as that.
simple as that. That didn't seem very simple. That seemed pretty complicated. So obviously we print a lot of stuff in this room, but at some point we got to get that in an envelope and out the door.
Yes, we do.
So we do that in statement operations.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to go visit statement operations. All right, so Roger, I think we're on our final lap in mail. Cheers to that. So here we are in statement processing,
Or statement insertion.
statement insertion. Craig had to get back to work. He had important things to do, so we've got someone else with us this
Fortunately,
morning.
we're able to have Tim Blau, the first shift mail services manager down here at the MSC. Glad to be here.
Tim, welcome. So, tell me a little bit about what's happening behind us.
Well, right now, all of that print output that you just saw with Craig, doing a great job of it, is now coming out here to be inserted into an envelope and out to our customers.
And we're not like putting individual stamps on this.
We have come a long way in the past, and we are now all mechanized, runs through, seals it all on its own.
Okay. And tell me a bit about the volume. Like, how many statements are we shipping out every day?
Well, on a daily basis, let me just say for the month, this building alone, MOC, we process anywhere between 2.5 million and 4.5 million pieces a month.
Okay.
We also handle another 150 to 250,000 in our Grand Rapids location.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're mailing out statements, notices, letters.
Whatever they need us to mail, we are mailing it out.
All right.
Bills, statements, notices, it all comes through us.
And how fast do those machines go? Like, how many do we get out an hour?
Of the 4 machines that we have here, they all average right around 10,000 pieces an hour.
That's a little faster than you can do by yourself, isn't it?
It is. We've timed it. So
Times it. Yeah. All right. Awesome. And so once we insert these, then what happens after that?
well, we ship them out the door to our pre-sort mail vendor. The reason we do this is they will sort that further down into a zip code order that they will then ship on to the post office for us. Because we have them do that for us, we save a substantial amount of money on our postage.
Okay, so when you say pre-sort vendor, are they literally sorting the mail into specific orders? Like
Yes, they
through a
are.
Physical sorting.
Yes, they're running them through machines, sorting them down by the zip codes, putting them in groups, sending them off to the post office, where the post office says, "Thank you very much for doing that for us. We're going to give you a discount on your postage."
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
that's awesome. What about in Grand Rapids? Do you do the same sort of thing? Like, does it go to a pre-sort vendor up there too?
We do have another smaller vendor up there that handles that volume for us as well.
Okay. Tell me about like the typical day for an operator here. Are they pretty much on their feet running this machine every day?
Yeah, yes they are. They come in every morning. We know what's coming in. All our print files, Craig might have mentioned, come in early in the morning basically. We'll start printing. We know what we're going to have to run throughout the rest of the day. So as it's coming out of the print shop, we organize it into what groups we want to go first, feed them over to our high-speed machines, where then they process them, balance them, get them ready for shipping out the door.
That's amazing. How many folks are in this team?
In this team, on any daily basis, we'll have anywhere from 3 to 4 operators here to run the machines.
Okay. And they run multiple shifts.
We run a first shift Monday through Friday. We run a weekend shift Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we'll do 10-hour days. And we also have a third shift that runs Monday evening through Thursday evening.
Okay. I don't think people realize how much sorting we're doing in mail processing around the clock here.
The mail never stops, Karen.
Mail never stops. Got that right. So other than working with Roger and I, what's your favorite part about working in mail services?
Working mail services, it's exciting.
Exciting. A lot happening.
A lot happening on a daily basis.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you giving us the overview. Should we head back and summarize what we saw?
I think that'd be a great idea, Karen. Thanks a lot, Tim.
No
Thanks,
problem,
Sam.
Roger. No problem, Karen.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, Roger, good trip. Made it all the way through mail services, all 3 areas.
Not what everyone thinks about when they
It
think
isn't.
about mail
It
services.
isn't. I think
Everyone always thinks about the mail center. They always think about the guys that are pushing the carts around and things like that. They don't always get to see everything else that's done down here.
For sure. A lot of activity, whether that was in the actual mail center that we talked about, or in print with the big equipment and all of the things happening there, or insertion. So one other thing to mention, we talked about some of the volume that we have going on, but there's also expense tied to that. So the bank spends about, what, $24 million a year on postage?
About $24 million a year, and that's after we've saved $3.5 million by pre-sorting that mail like Tim was talking about.
Oh, right. So that where they sort it down by zip code.
Yes. So
Yes.
we're saving about 10 cents a piece for every piece of mail that gets sorted like that. So on 35 million pieces a year.
That's not nothing. That's not jump change.
Yes.
And of course, we still encourage, don't we, Roger, people to go online so we can
Suppress your statement.
suppress your statement, right? It's a safer alternative. You don't have to worry about your information going through the USPS, and you can get it faster.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That being said, once again,
Thanks, Karen. Appreciate you being on Between Two Mics again. And until next time,
until next time,
see ya.
see ya.